mentioned that Sonic Adventure was going to be the next game I was playing in my most recent video, which was the significance of Sonic in my childhood, but I want to say hi and welcome you to the game because I'm about to launch it, and the game starts with an FMV/CGI cutscene sequence. And as far as I can tell, the only way to watch it is when it plays as soon as you launch the game, and there's no way to get back to it. So I just wanted to say hello, and we're going to go ahead and watch that now, and I'll talk a little bit more when we get into it. See you in a second. Alright, so that was the FMV. It was pretty cool. The reason I thought it was important to show you is because the events that it shows actually take place before the start of the game. Well, not entirely. I'm not sure if I don't believe that the monster attacking the city actually happened, but what did definitely happen is as Angel Island, which is the floating island, falling down into the water. So just keep that in mind as we move on to the story. But I'd like you to picture something for me before we continue really quickly. Okay, so it's 1999, incredibly early in the morning, and little Calla just woke up. He's climbing down the stairs, not sure if anyone else is awake in the house, but he has his sights set on the Sega Dreamcast plugged into the TV in the living room. He turns on his TV, switches it to channel 3, and turns on the Dreamcast. He has no idea that his parents watched a movie on TV the night before and left the volume ridiculously high. And then this happens. Now, believe it or not, we're actually talking about that happening several times before I actually learned my lesson and remembered to check the volume on the TV. Anyway, welcome to Sonic Adventure. I am really, really excited to be playing this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and it means a lot to me, as I got into in a whole different video. But one of the reasons I've actually wanted to do videos for this game ever since I first started doing these videos all the way back in 2013, but I always gave myself some excuse, like, oh, the game is too noisy, the game's too loud, it's not relaxing enough. But I think that, considering how important it is to me, I think it's sort of, let's just say I have confidence in my editing skills more than I did back then, and I feel like, considering how important it is to me, I really would like to do a playthrough for it and just manage the audio levels as best I can. So I hope you find it relaxing, and I hope you enjoy it too. We're going to go ahead and create a new file here, which will bring us to the proper main menu, which has adventure, trial and mission, options, and end game, which doesn't take us to the end game of the game, but instead, ends the game. And we're going to go ahead and hit adventure and immediately be taken to the character select menu. We're not going to waste too much time before we just jump right into it, but a few things I should say is that this is the PC port of Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. I said that weird. Sonic Adventure Director's Cut, which came out for the GameCube. However, that port is, in my opinion, not very good because it crops the game to be 4:3 resolution and has big purple bars on the left and right. But also, so I am running a mod that makes it widescreen, but more importantly than that, I'm running a Dreamcast conversion mod that makes the game look like how it did when I played it on the Dreamcast and not before they ported it to the GameCube, because when they did that, they replaced a lot of the character models with the models from Adventure 2, and I don't dislike the way that Adventure 2 looks at all. But I personally think that some of the charm was lost in just completely removing the Dreamcast models for Sonic Adventure. And I think that's it, really. I also have a UI mod that makes it HD, but that's a pretty minor thing. I think that's it, so let's go ahead and pick Sonic. I have to rerun through all the other characters we can pick, of course, because we're not blocked from choosing them. So right now we can only choose from Sonic, but as we progress through his storyline, we can start Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big, and E102 Gamma. And all of these characters have a unique storyline and unique gameplay that you follow from point A to point B all the way to the end. So Sonic has a start, it ends, and then every single character works that way as well. So I could talk about this forever and ramble on, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose Sonic and let's go ahead and start. And I already know how to play, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose game. So interestingly, and I won't be doing this a lot because I don't know all of the minute differences, but in the director's cut, for example, after the police unload the bullets into Chaos here, Chaos Zero, he makes a noise that's kind of a moaning or a groaning. And when they re-released this game for the director's cut, for some reason, inexplicably, that sound effect is gone. So once again, it's a mod I have. I believe it's a sound overhaul mod that restores. It might also be the Dreamcast restoration mod, but either way, that's just one of the minor weird things they changed. Some of the changes in the director's cut feel really strange, like they just wanted to change it for the sake of changing it, especially with the textures. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and play the game now. I kind of appreciate that the first thing you do as Sonic is experience a boss fight, because as you can see, it's clearly nothing too difficult, but it does let you get a feel for the controls. But more importantly, right there, it lets you jump, and then if you try to maybe jump again, you'll see that Sonic has what's called the homing attack, which first appeared in this game. And I didn't even mean to attack him there, and it's his primary means of doing damage. And I wanted to make sure I got him to a third of his health left, and then let him live so he could show off that attack there, because it's pretty neat where he jumps from lamppost to lamppost. But anyway, let's go ahead and put him out of his misery and play with him some other time.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time. Come on, you big drip. Where you going?
You know nothing, fool! It's Chaos, the god of destruction!
Huh? What? Tails? Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah! Tails! Now, what am I gonna do with you?
And then as soon as we get into gameplay, people just apparate into existence. So something I want to touch on before we get started. Well, we're in a casino. We're in a resort or hotel pool area that Sonic would just happen to be hanging out in Station Square. But something I want to talk about with the voice acting in this game, I like pretty much every Sonic voice actor that's taken on the role since he, got a voice. But Ryan Drummond, who unfortunately only voiced Sonic for Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, will always be my preferred Sonic voice. And actually, interestingly enough, the night that I'm recording this is the same day that Roger Craig Smith, who's been the voice of Sonic for the past 10 years, announced that he's no longer in the role, and that's created a whole lot of speculation. But anyway, just interesting timing. And one last thing also with the voice acting is Dean Bristow, who was the voice that you just heard for Eggman in that cutscene, is, in my opinion, the greatest voice actor to ever touch the role. And unfortunately, he passed away after recording Adventure 1 and 2, and Heroes, I think. And he will always be the superior voice, in my opinion. But anyway, let's stop running in circles and actually play the game. When I replay this game, I normally never talk to the NPCs, but I kind of wanted to make it a point in this playthrough to do that, just to actually see what they say. I'm Mr. Know-It-All. Here's a clue. Grab the spinning rings. It's important. That is very important. As long as you've got the rings, you'll be okay, even if you hit any hazards. Now you know. Oh, and don't worry if the view suddenly changes. It does that sometimes. Just keep moving in the direction you want. It may take a little time to get used to it, so keep trying. I appreciate how optimistic he is. And yeah, so the game does control the camera for you. If you hit start, there is a auto camera or free camera option. I'm just going to probably leave it on auto just because it's what I'm used to doing. I don't normally change it between them. Oh, that's going to happen a lot too because the interact button is also the spin dash button. A plane crashed over there at the beach. I hope the pilot's okay. Mr. Sonic, please go see if you can save him. Just my luck. A monster appears, then a plane falls. I came here to relax. This is unbelievable. And I think there's one secret person. Yeah, there's a secret person hanging out in the pool. What happened? I was swimming and I missed it. Alright, and with that, we can interact with this terminal. This says, welcome to Emerald Coast, which is our first level. And just before we start, I feel like I'm prefacing everything before I do anything. That's okay, we're having fun. I think the soundtrack to this game is phenomenal. I think it's one of the best video game soundtracks ever made. And I'd like to highlight that a little bit, so I think as I start each level, I'll just give a few seconds so you can hear the general atmosphere of the level before I start talking again. So let's go ahead and start Stage 1, Emerald Coast. It's really the perfect kind of theme for a beachfront level like this. So we've seen some enemies here, and primarily we'll be fighting Eggman's robots. And you'll notice that I'm picking up animals that appear in the bottom right, and we'll get into why that's happening in a little bit. But for now, we'll just see it as a neat throwback to the older games where you used to open up capsules to save animals. Go through a loop-to-loop here, and then do a homing attack at the top just to make ourselves feel cool. So these levels are pretty open for Sonic's first proper 3D game. There's a lot to explore and go around in, whereas in later games they're pretty linear. Like take for example, the obvious path here is the ramp, but if we take our time to look around a little bit, we can jump down here and then get a free 1-up. We can just mash the spin dash button to get a lot of speed really fast. And I think this should, take us to another loop. And this damn whale, this poor Sonic has had to deal with this whale so many times. And he just has it is a killer whale, so I suppose it makes sense, but poor Sonic has had to run away from this thing so many times. Yeah, for set piece sequences like that, all you really have to do is just hold forward and you're good. I missed the animal from that one. There we go. Once again, the obvious path is on this incline here, but we can actually come around here and find these. Oh, and we can't go into first person. I probably should have said that as well. These are question marks, so they'll give us random rings, a random amount of rings each. So let's see how we do. 20, 15, and 10. That's not too bad. The highest I've seen them give, and I think the max they can give is 40. And here's another life we can get, so let's hope okay, I was hoping, usually you don't get enough height, or sometimes you don't get enough height from getting that, and you just homing attack down the bottom, or back down to the bottom. Oh, that's a funny first death. The homing attack can be pretty finicky sometimes. But that was completely my bad. Alright, going through this cave puts us into the second part of the level, where the music changes. And by running on the wall there and running through that little gap, which is pretty easy to miss sometimes because you're going that fast from the speed boost there, that let us skip a very slow section where we'd have to jump across a bunch of rocks in the water, which is just an example of a brief alternate path because there's quite a few in this game, and that was 40 rings. I don't know if that was because it was a random one or if that's just 40 rings, but that's nice. There's another, that doesn't happen too often. There's another example of the game being a little janky sometimes. I was just holding forward. But for example, the game intends for you to go all the way up there and get that checkpoint point, but it's pretty easy to just hold a spin dash and then jump and save some time. So before we took this path, but since I died, I can actually go over here and show you a different path. After we get these rings, 5, 5, 5, yeah, I think that's just what they are. There's these jump pads where you just tap jump between them, and it feels, to me at least, a little bit slower than just going the way we went before. And as Echo the Dolphin, multiple Echo the Dolphins fly above us, we can just run all the way to the end of the level where Tails, poor Tails, is crashed here. And we got level C completed and our first emblem, and I'll talk a little bit about that after the next cutscene.
Hey Sonic, long time no see, huh?
I'm just glad you're okay. What happened anyway? You're too good of a pilot to just crash like that.
That was a test run using a new prototype propulsion system. It's got a few bugs to iron out.
Why not just use my plane, the Tornado?
Thanks, but you gotta check out my newest power supply. Ta-da!
Whoa! A Chaos Emerald!
Yep, I just happened to find one of the 7 emeralds during one of my test flights. This thing's got unlimited power, you know. So I figured, why not use it to power my plane? Supercharged! You gotta come over to my workshop, Sonic. I've got something I've gotta show you. It's in the Mystic Ruin. The fastest way is by train. Let's go!
The game tells us that now we can play with Tails, which means we can now select to start a Tails campaign in the character select if we went back to the main menu. So rather than needing to get a certain amount of completion in Sonic's story in order to play the other ones, basically all you have to do is meet the character. So by the end of Sonic's story, we'll have all of them unlocked. But what I wanted to say was we got level C completed at the end of that level, Emerald Coast. And if you're familiar with Sonic games, you probably know. Look at me, I'm back to running around in circles in the pool. But anyway, if you're familiar with Sonic games, you probably know that a lot of them have a ranking system that's usually based on your speed or how many rings you get or your score. That's not what this is at all. The levels in this game, which are C, B, and A, are actually missions or objectives that you have to do every time you replay the level. So level C is always just finishing the level for the first time. Level B is finishing it with a certain amount of rings in your inventory when you finish it, and then level A is finishing it under a certain time limit. So the game definitely encourages you to play and replay the levels over and over again. These have new dialogue. Oh, they do. I'm glad to hear the little fox piloting that plane was safe. Yeah, just go through the hotel lobby, and to the right is the door to Station Square. I'm sorry, but I overheard the conversation. I didn't mean to, though. That's fine, it was pretty loud. I feel great. There's nothing like swimming pools in the ocean in the summer. I agree. Alright, so finally we leave the pool area that I was loving running in circles. Can we talk to this guy behind the counter? I'm the hotel manager. Call me if you need anything. By the way, if you want to visit the Chow Garden, take the left elevator. Chow are so cute. So I'm actually not going to do that right now. This is the elevator he's talking about. But the Chow Garden and the Chow minigame in this game, and Adventure 2 in general, is one of the highly requested things that Sega, for some reason, has never ever brought back to this series. But we'll see it, but probably not in this first video. From now on, the casino is only open at night, and this door is locked, so that's probably the way the casino goes. The exit to Station Square is right here, but if we come up here, there's 2 buttons we can press that create a trail of rings. One creates a trail of rings, and the other one opens up that door with something green and shiny on the other side. We can collect the first few rings, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we can make that jump. Except we can, but we can't get there in time, so we'll just have to come back later and see what that is all about. this is Station Square proper. Oh, there's a guy right here. What does he have to say? Do you like the view from the station? I love the sea. The sea's always there for me. Hell yeah, man. So let's go ahead and jump into first person here. So, something that really only this game did, because Adventure 2 doesn't even have it, is that the way you get to the levels is via a hub world. And there's multiple maps. This is Station Square, and there's a second area this way, but unfortunately it's blocked off by the cops, so can't go that way. And we also can't access any other levels yet either. Farewell, old relationship. Hello, new relationship. That is what I always say. La la la, we're in love. There's a special for couples at Twinkle Park. If you bring a date, you can get in free. And there's Twinkle Park right there. Before we move on to the train to go visit Tails' workshop, I did want to explore this little sewer. And you can see there's a hole here, but we can't jump up there at all, actually. It looks like it's blocking us with an invisible wall. I forgot that it did that. So just something to keep in mind for later. Oh, excuse me. So by blocking off that section, the game sort of encourages us to check out this train station, where we can talk to quite a few people. Oh, excuse me, sir. This is the center of Station Square. If you want to go to the Mystic Ruins, take the train. If you're going to do research, the trip's free. Of course, only a real adventurer takes a trip to such a remote place. This guy will probably just tell us that, low pay, hard work, what am I doing? Oh, a customer, I'm sorry, Station Square Central. This train's heading to the Mystic Ruins. Wow, I was not expecting to hear something so real, poor guy. Oh, excuse me. Look around, the train's packed with exhausted people. Looks pretty empty to me. But look at me, I'm full of energy. Alright, so we do need to board the train, but first I'm gonna jump up here to this banister. Oh. And then run over here to get a hidden emblem for our second one. Alright, now we're gonna board the train to the Mystic Ruins. Landed right on that guy's head. Which is another adventure field, aka Hub World. And it looks really different from Station Square, very jungly. This is another area that they changed a lot in the director's cut that I'm not really a fan of. I like the darker colors of the Dreamcast version. But we'll have plenty of time to get familiar with this. Let's just go where we need to go.
If it isn't Sonic!
Look, it's a giant talking egg.
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
Whatever you say, Eggman.
Enough! I've got big plans, and now I'm gonna put them to work.
You're always up to no good. Now what do you want?
I want all of the Chaos Emeralds. Better not interfere, or else!
Or else what, you big loser?
Or else I'll take them from you by force, the hard way.
Alright, and now we have our second boss, the Egg Hornet, which is a hilarious boss for a reason you'll see in a few seconds. He's going to start by shooting some missiles at us, which we can easily dodge. Also, the song that played during that cutscene was Eggman's theme in this game, which is great. And then we just jump and mash the jump button, and then he's dead. And that fight is intended to have multiple phases.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time. same monster I saw the other day?
Oh, yes! It's just as the stone tablets predicted. His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald. With all 7 emeralds in him, he'll be invincible and work for me. Together, we'll destroy Station Square. And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all. Come on, Chaos! Let's find another emerald, shall we?
Sonic! We can't let him get away with this, can we?
No way, Tails!
Without more emeralds, the monster can't transform. So, it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh?
I would absolutely love to know what the practical purpose of that extendo arm is on Eggman's flying thing he was on, other than to steal the emerald in that specific cutscene. But anyway, here's Tails' workshop. We're actually going to end the video here in a second, but we have this wind stone, and it looks like a key, and the design must mean something. Which I'm going to take it over here, and we can see another emblem. Now, I don't believe the intention of this emblem is that you can get it right now. I think you're supposed to get it on Knuckles' playthrough, because the open world emeralds, or emblems, excuse me, are carry over between characters. But if we time it right, we can spin dash and then jump to get over there really easily. Alright, so let's go take this windstone, which looks like a key, and the design must mean something. Over here, and then we're just gonna yeet it. And then it's gonna be floating. And then give us access to our second level, which we will do immediately in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love this game, and I can't wait to show the rest of it to you. Take care and stay safe.